You've found Wickett on Wisconsin, your one-stop podcast for all things Packers, Brewers, Bucks, and the rest of your favorite teams from all over the state of Wisconsin. We're powered by Wisconsin Sports Heroics, online at wisportsheroics.com and the Wisconsin Podcast Association. And now, here's your host, Mike Wickett.
Very special edition of Wickett on Wisconsin. Thanks for checking out the podcast once again. And here we are. You know, I was trying to track this gentleman down for a while, but I thought, you know what? Let's wait till Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams completely shake up the National Football League. You know him as a Packers Hall of Famer. Now you know him as an NFL Hall of Famer, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. My friend LeRoy Butler. LeRoy, it has been too long. How in the heck are you, bud?
Well, I'm doing well, but I want to hear about Lee and the kids first. That's way more important. I got to talk to the family. I miss you guys. I really do.
Well, let's see. Right now, this is dinner time for the kids, the three babies. And so she has allowed me to have 20 minutes or so to talk with you. So this is really all a big thanks to you and a thanks to her.
Yes, right.
That we can do this podcast today.
Well, tell her thank you, because you know I love Lee, and I'm so happy to hear that you guys have kids and all that kind of stuff. So,
LeRoy, back when I knew you when I was working at the Fan in Milwaukee versus the person I am now, LeRoy.
You're a grown man now. That's right.
Oh, yeah. It's. I mean, you're a father. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Everything changes. Like St. Patrick's Day wasn't too long ago, and I had no interest. And you know how much I enjoy beer, but I had zero interest in going out.
Good for you. Good for you. I mean, because when you have kids, it does put everything in perspective. But it's great, especially when they look up and say, Daddy. Oh. And I think that's who I'm more, we talk about kids, Mike. That's who I'm more happy for. My wife and kids, the Hall of Fame thing has been amazing for especially my oldest daughters, because I have 4 oldest ones live down in Florida. So, and my son, and we got 2 teenagers live here in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. So kids are different because they don't really care about, certain things. If you win or lose a game, kids are like, Dad, you're still Dad.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You can have 200,000 followers or 20,000 followers, you're still Dad. That's the good thing about kids.
Yeah. And mine are 3, 2, and 2.
Oh. Babysitter alert.
Oh, we have a great nanny, man. If we didn't have the nanny that we have, we would not survive our daily routine. There's no doubt whatsoever. We still change a lot of diapers around here, LeRoy.
Oh, I used to do that with one hand and still do interviews. I mean, I did everything, man. I love kids. I just don't like them when they're 16.
Right. Well, hey,
16, I love them.
If you want to come change diapers, you want the temper tantrums, you want the drooling, you want to do that, you just come on over. You come on over.
I love it. I like going to 3 different restaurants when they're little. I like one has to have Cheerios, one has to have Fruit Loops, and the other one they're
not eating. They're just not going to eat. They don't.
Yeah. And one is gluten free. One is like a green kid, and one will eat anything. I love it. Love it.
Well, man, when it was NFL Honors Night right around the Super Bowl, I feel like you must have got 1,000 text messages when you finally got the call that you were going in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Like, how has it worn off yet? Has the shine of the accolade kind of dimmed, or are you still waking up every day and you're like, damn, I'm finally a Pro Football Hall of Famer?
You know what? That's a good question, because with me, I think one of the biggest things at the Super Bowl, we went out there for the honors and going to the Super Bowl, the players are like, I noticed something about LA, Mike. Either you're very famous or you work hard to be famous. There's no in between. You got to pick what side you're on. But for me, I'm just LeRoy Butler. So the players are like, you're getting us in trouble. Quit saying hi to people.
And I saw the pictures. You were like just waving hello to everybody.
I just wanted to I was doing my own thing because, because I'm good friends with the guys at TMZ. We don't have TMZ in Wisconsin. You can be yourself. When you land at LAX, man, people follow you around. There's LeRoy Butler. Oh my, I just wasn't used to that. But again, I had to get used to this kind of platform. It's huge. Mike, there's only 362 guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And when they gave me that number, that's when it hit me. My number is 357. And I was like, what's that? When we were in our first little meeting, and that's when the president said, well, that's your number. Everybody gets a number. I was like, wow. Because you know how the 90s were. People think it was just Brett Favre, Reggie White, Ron Wolf, and that was it. So it made me feel good that, although I had to wait 16 years, it made me feel good about the way I played. And it made me think about a few people along the way, like my mom. She was amazing. But the biggest thing, real quick, I thought about when Woodson knocks on the door, because you're a Michigan guy.
I saw the video, man. I cried. I'm like, two of my guys right there.
I know, right? That was just so amazing, because I know what it feels like, and Lee can adapt. She can understand this. Every woman can understand this. This is what I felt like. Every year you say is your year to get married, but the guy never proposes. Every year. Oh, you're going to make it. You're getting in. He's going to marry you. Oh, you got to do this. You got good. And he doesn't propose. Then you just give up. You're done. He's never going to do it. We have kids, but I'm never getting married. And then Woodson is knocking at the door and give you the Hall of Fame ring. So that's what it felt like. I know what my wife feels like whenever the year she thought I was going to propose, and I didn't, but eventually I did, by the way.
I know. I saw that.
But I'm just saying, guys, even the guys who didn't make it, they think they're going to, the anxiety, and then you either get a knock or a phone call. There is an anxiety around it.
I love the fact that the embrace came between the two generations, you and Charles. He was drafted in 98. You obviously were still playing at that point. But the fact that there's the Packer connection, the Hall of Fame connection, it just makes me smile.
Yeah, and Jim Porter, he actually came up with that. He's the new, the big boss. Because remember, he used to be Mr. Baker, would knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in the hotel, you're going to see Richard Seymour, and then Kurt Warner, who has a movie out. That's my guy. Going to see Dick Vermeil. I mean, that's platinum. And so I just shout out to Jim Porter for coming up with that. But my fans, I'm so happy for them, Mike. I really am. My fans, every year they get violent. I can't believe this guy's in, you're not in. So it made me feel like a whole community. I got in for them, and it made me feel good representing the community, the Packer community, but I'm not only that, but my fans.
Have you been fitted for your jacket yet?
Yes.
What size are you now these days, LeRoy?
Well, they don't even tell you the size. And that's the thing about it. Because they measure you, and they don't say anything. They just measure you, and then you go over there to do your ring, which I didn't know they get a ring.
So you have the jacket fitted, you had the ring fitted, anything else that we don't know about?
I know, right? It was like, what are the sizes? Because just in case some guys, like Chris Carter, I mean, he looks amazing. He lost a lot of weight, so he has to get a different jacket. Some guys, some of your big linemen are like 6'4", they're 290, but they're like get to like 305 and need a bigger jacket, but the same length. You can go and say, hey, listen, I want to be like Steve Harvey with the long coat.
Yes.
They'll do that for you. I'm like, and some guys, I had a long coat. I wanted it shorter, and they'll accommodate you, which is, I guess, just this Hall of Fame stuff. I got to get used to it.
You're one of 360 some. They better accommodate you.
But I didn't think of that because I don't even know my ring size. They were like, there were people like working on my finger to fit my ring, and the jacket people from Hager and Men's Warehouse, they were still talking about what kind of cut do you want? Do you want 3 buttons? Do you want this? And then the gold jacket has evolved over the years, like the color. It's kind of yellowy, then it gets kind of
mustardy, little gold.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know what. I mean, are you guys considered blue and gold or yellow?
Maize and blue. Maize and blue is what it
See,
is.
that's what I'm saying. Because at Florida State, we have garnet, which
Yeah.
is maroon, and gold, but the gold is a little bit different. So,
Well, my wife went to Iowa State. Their Cardinals are cardinal and gold, but
yes,
but it's cardinal and white at Wisconsin. But the
yes.
colors of cardinal are very different between the two schools.
Totally different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Hey, who's inducting you? Who's doing your intro speech?
Well, it's 5 people, and my wife, Genesis Butler, is one of them. Now, Coach Bobby Bowden would have been, but rest in peace, he would have been like up there. Gene Deckerhoff, who just retired.
Did he really? I didn't know he did. He is a great dude. I've had him on the show a lot, usually to talk trash about you. No, I've had him on a lot when Wisconsin would play against Florida State. He's a great man.
Yeah, he was one of like 5 people that we were going to ask, but I haven't really drilled it down because the speech is going to be different. The person who's going to induct you is going to do it via video for everybody to see. And then I think they cut the time way down.
Yeah.
Because some guys get a little long. They do. So 6 to 8 minutes, but the production is amazing. They got like speech coaches, writers and everything, which my teachers are actually, one of my teachers, former teachers, Miss Gordon. She's my algebra teacher at high school. She's helping me put it together and write it.
Well,
So,
don't they know you? I mean, you're on the radio. You speak in front of crowds every day. Like, this shouldn't be a thing for. Do they know that?
That's no filter. And then I talk too much anyway. So I need somebody to kind of drill it down for me. Like, get to the talking points and get out.
LeRoy, we have been trying to get you to do that for a decade on the Fan in Milwaukee. All right,
it's not happening. It's not. And now that we're statewide, we do commercials. We don't go as long.
No, everything. I know you guys are big show networks all over Wisconsin. It's on in Milwaukee at 1250. When you're on a network, you don't get the freedom you do. No. It's just a local show in Milwaukee.
No, and that's why I appreciate when we work together that it was a little bit more different. It was different. You can just, every now and then I can go on Rami's show. He's on later, and you can go for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Rami will just go for 20 minutes sometime. It's how it works.
I was so hurt though, because you're one of the few people that has a LeRoy Butler jersey. When you told me you guys were leaving, I was hurt. Boy, I was hurt. I was hurt.
I'm not autograph guy, and I'm not a big memorabilia guy.
True. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you and my wife were in cahoots on this, I swear, because it shows up. It's the jersey, but then she stole the jersey from that you gave to me, and thank you. It's one of the only sports memorabilia signed items I have, and then I couldn't find it for 2 months, LeRoy. I didn't know where it went. She stole it, gave it to her mom and her dad. They put it in a glass frame, like an expensive, nice glass frame. Yes. And that is hanging up in my basement/man cave right now. LeRoy, yep. It's the only thing hanging because everything else is still in boxes because we just moved.
That's fine. That's great, though. I don't think we've ever told that story on the air, but it was just something that, because you get friends in the building, and you and Lee were just people that never looked at me like LeRoy Butler. It's like, hi, LeRoy, how's it going?
I was just like, oh, hey, LeRoy, make sure your read is short enough this time around. Make sure you don't go 4 minutes here.
Yes, that's what I like. I like that. So that's why I'm glad I'm on your podcast, because I think it's important to still be friends, especially when, going through COVID and things of that nature, and following you on Facebook and seeing all this stuff. And
you see the kids growing up. That's something that's been important to me. The connection that we have with listeners, and I haven't been on the air in Milwaukee in 6 years, but still, I feel a connection to the city. I feel a connection to Packers fans. The podcast kind of keeps me involved with that, and I'm so glad you came on. I didn't want to bother you. Right after the announcement happened, I
have my number for a reason.
But I sent you a text, and I was like, he's not going to respond, and you did, which was great. And I'm like, all right, so I'm going to let all the parties happen because I'm watching you. It's like, LeRoy Butler's having ladies' night at this place. LeRoy Butler's having this celebration. I'm like, LeRoy's going to live this up. I'm going to wait a month before I actually get him on. How's the party scene going? You're like going from spot to spot, Florida, Wisconsin, you're everywhere.
Well, one of the biggest ones, Mike, was at Florida State. Mike Norvell, the new hit, well, he's been there a couple of years. He called me up. We got to get you down here because we got to celebrate you. Now, he tried to get me down his first year, but it was right into COVID.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. And then he still wanted to reach out, and we stayed in touch. So he didn't wait till I was in the Hall of Fame. He was already thinking he wanted me to talk to his team. So I'm thinking, okay, but if I could talk to the recruits maybe and say hi to some of the family and then go to a basketball game. We did it about 2 weeks now. That was amazing. They had me a suite at the on campus at the Florida State basketball game. Got to go at halftime, go on the court. That was very emotional because I hadn't been back to Florida State in 25 years.
Wow. So it's a little nicer accommodations than we put you up in Green Bay during training camp week.
Oh, way better. way better. I'm in there talking to the president of the university and his wife, and some of the other former players were there too. We had a great weekend. It really felt special. And then the highlight was Coach Bobby Bowles' secretary, Miss Sue Hall, drove me to the airport. That was emotional because that was my mom's favorite. And when my mom passed 5 years ago, she still would ask about Miss Sue Hall. That was Coach Bobby Bowden's secretary. She took care of everybody. And I was a Proposition 48 because I couldn't play my freshman year. And so me and her got very close, and she would take me to study hall because I used to get lost all the time. And she would kind of like, she called everybody sugar. That's how we talk down south. It's over there, sugar. Okay, honey pie. That's how we talk down south. So she took me to the airport, and now it was hard. Everything in my body, every time she would say stuff, Mike, I was trying not to cry because that's how important she was. And when
I won't respond to that.
When Coach Bob passed away, it was just crazy. I think Siri's doing some.
I think Siri's trying to talk to you right now. Hey, who goes to bat for you to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Pete Doherty.
And he's been doing this a couple of years now. But people don't know that writers get in the room, make the case for the voters.
He's your lawyer. Yeah, he's your lawyer. So, and this year he had 10 minutes. And you got to remember now, you got 15 guys, and they cut it to 10. And then they cut it to 5, just up or down, yes or no. And Pete didn't even know, Mike. He didn't even know. Nobody knew. And I said to myself, it's going to leak. Even Watergate leaked, I think. It's going to leak out. Never leaked out.
Wow.
And then come to find out, my wife knew the day before the Packers played San Francisco. They call her up and say he made it, but don't tell him. We got to figure out how to do it.
Wow.
She never told me a thing. All 5 wives knew. Never knew a thing. And then we did the knock the Thursday before I had to go up there. So I knew like a few days before we had to go there. But I go to the Super Bowl anyway. Every year I go there anyway. I had to go out there promote.
What are you promoting now, LeRoy? I see the vodka in the background. Like you're always promoting something, man.
Exactly. Pick and Save, Kroger, and Metro Market. I was out there promoting Leap Vodka, and I was promoting my new brat. I got a new brat just came out. So I was out there to do Radio Row and videos and stuff promoting the brand. So if people saw me, they wouldn't think, oh, he made it. He's good, but could I go anyway? So it was great. Great.
That's amazing, man. I am just so happy for you. I know so many people, so many Packer fans have been waiting for this. I would be remiss if I didn't get your take on the last 2 major stories involving the Packers. I'm sure you're talking these things to death on the Big Show Network all over. I want to start with 12 coming back and the 150 over a couple of years. And, what has the reaction been like between you and Gary and Sparky talking about Rodgers and, ending the Jordan Love speculation for all things considered?
Man, you're good. What happened was, Mike, you got to take it back a little bit. Before last year, Rodgers didn't know if he wanted to play, but he's MVP. Okay, he's fine. He's going to play. He comes back. He goes through the season. He's fighting with the media, just kind of getting distracted. I mean, stay on point. And then throughout the season, you kind of think he's going to get MVP again. And you're thinking, okay, it's snowing. You can beat Jimmy Garoppolo, and then you get beat. So the offseason is up in the air. Here we go again. Brett Favre all over again. So he said, no, I'm going to make a decision, so whatever.
He said mid-March, so I don't know why everybody was like, where's the answer? Because he made his decision mid-March.
Well, hang on to that for a minute. So my thing is, this whole landing, all these planes can't land until the front plane lands. And one of them is Devontae, Preston Smith, Randall Cobb. All these players are waiting until you get through with Rodgers. Now, some of these planes, they're running out of gas. They're like, I'm out of here. But, I mean, even your all-pro middle linebacker, Campbell, everybody's waiting. So while he's waiting to mid-March, so is everybody else. And the Packers are saying, full disclosure, hey, we want him back, whatever. Okay. So in that press conference of that, well, I want to make sure Devontae Adams gets taken care of. He mentioned that. So, and it's not about the money. So Diana Rossini, I think, she reported he's going to get $50 million a year, 4 year, $200 million or whatever. He said it's categorically false. I don't know what that means. It just gives you a wiggle room that some of it's true, $50 million a year, but it's not really 200.
Could be 49 million, could be 51, but it's not 50. Yeah. It's like the 50-piece Giannis ordered after winning the title.
Exactly. Are you really going to count and see if it's 50? You just know that it's 50. They just write 50 on the box. We never count them, right? So unless the kids do that, Dad, I got a 4-piece, but they only gave me 2. We're circling, okay?
Yeah, we're going back.
I would drive off.
Yeah.
But my wife, no, we're going back, and the fries are cold. But this, now it gets confusing, Mike. I'm thinking, okay, then Rodgers says he's coming back. Okay, let's go. Fine. Okay. And then all of a sudden, he put in there, well, because he hadn't signed it yet, it's not true. Again, semantics, but it's not, the numbers were reported, not true. Okay, fine. Put that to the side. Fast forward to you sign the contract. Then you say, whoa, it's 150 guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. So he got his money. Fine. So you're thinking Devontae says, hey, I am not playing on I'm not playing on that contract. The
franchise tag.
Franchise, thank you. Franchise, I'm not playing. Okay, fine. So I think when Rodgers was kind of make his mind up, he knew that Devontae wasn't playing. So he's trying to say, do I want to come back and play without him?
Better get paid to do it.
Right. So if I'm going to stay, because Rodgers got him held up. He could say, man, look, I want $60 million a year, but you're going to lose Devontae and lose me. But they got that done. So when I heard Devontae left, I said, wait a minute. Devontae already had his mind made up, Mike, because last year they could have signed him, and he broke the talks off. They made him play under that deal. Now they say, go get a deal, and we'll match it. Fine. He go get some deal from the Raiders. Packers panic. We'll match it. Nope, I'm out of here. So Devontae was gone already when they didn't sign him last year.
Yeah, it's like when the Russell Wilson deal happened 3 hours after the Rodgers deal. That was in the works. Devontae, his agent was already talking, and it was smart by the Packers because they probably knew this was happening to franchise him so that they could at least control him and trade him for assets. Yeah. What do you think of what they got back? Didn't
get enough.
You don't think they got enough?
No, Jamal Adams, a safety, got 2 first-rounders from Seattle from the Jets. No, that's not not at all. You could really have, if the Packers wanted to play nasty, I'll hold it up because he said he's not going to play anyway. I'm going to get the best deal possible for the best receiver. I want 2 or 3 first-round picks. Look what they got for Deshaun Watson. Are you kidding me? These teams are desperate now to get the player they want. Who cares about the draft? You can have the Rams told you that last year. You don't care about no draft picks. Oh, you don't have a draft pick for the next 2 or 3 years? Who cares? I want a Super Bowl with grown men, not babies. So the Packers could have said, no, I want 2 first-round draft picks. Or they could have said, I'm going to trade both of these guys, get 5 or 6 first-round picks, second-round picks, and players. But the Packers weren't aggressive enough. They were just glad to get it over with. Give me a first and second round for this year's draft. I'm done with it. Now, Mike, people are going to say, okay, Aaron Rodgers, you the man now. Go win with a bunch of receivers we don't know.
Do you think, and I, everybody who's talking about how the Packers have absolutely no weapons right now, it's also not even the end of March yet. They all of a sudden get $20 million in cap space. Do you think getting the deal done to have the cap space so they can still maybe go out? I know Juju Smith-Schuster just got signed, but they have some time now to go after, and I don't know if any of the other names excite you, like Julio Jones at this point in his career, or Cole Beasley, and OBJ, Jarvis Landry. At least they had some time, and maybe they don't go receiver. I'm not sure what the plan is, but they needed to open up the wallet because their cap situation was so bad. At least now they can play the game a little bit.
Well, the answer to that is go get DK Metcalf.
What are you giving up for DK Metcalf, who is on the last year of his contract?
Whatever they want, because I'm going to sign him to a max deal anyway. Whatever you want. Okay. You want first-round pick? It's the 22nd and 28th. Who are you going to get down there to help you win a Super Bowl?
What about Jordan Love and a second? They need a young quarterback. You think they want to go to battle with Drew Lock?
I think they want to see what Drew Lock's going to do. But I'd offer that as well. Because I agree with you. I think you got to move Love. You can't have him in that room after signing Aaron to a 3-year extension.
Right.
You telling the kid he's not going to play.
LeRoy,
that's basically telling the kid he sucks.
I got a Jordan Love jersey. I got a Jordan Love jersey hoodie. That is, what do I do with it now? What do I
keep it to be a throwback for your kids.
Did you see Adrian Amos, a guy who plays the safety spot like you? Did you see Adrian Amos tweet out a video that he should have been a quarterback, and there was a Pee Wee football video of him, old grainy thing, throwing a touchdown pass? You think you should have been a quarterback with the deals these guys are getting?
We all said that because quarterback is the only one, Mike, we let hold up these franchises. They get max money. They can say what they want, do what they want. If you're good enough, you can do whatever the hell you want, and these teams are stuck up. They can't do a thing. Why do you think Matthew Stafford's going to get a big deal? I mean, look what, Josh Allen got. And then look again, Watson going through this civil suit thing. The guy just got $250 million. So if you're a quarterback, I agree with Amos. You can do whatever you want and still get paid. So I just want, but, I will say this real quick. It will force Aaron to run LaFleur's offense. Throw it to the open guy, not force it to Devontae. So he's going to have to spread the ball around, get the ball. Now, the leading receiver may be Aaron Jones. Just get the ball out to the backs, tight ends, and receivers, and keep the chains moving. That'll be better for his legacy to say you always had to play, with the best receiver. You don't always need that because Tom Brady don't always need the best receiver. He'll just throw it to whoever's open. That's why he's the GOAT. So Tom steals everybody's thunder and say he's coming back. Only quarterbacks. There goes the point. Only quarterbacks.
Hey, man, I'm so glad to talk to you. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy. I know Packers fans are so happy for the Hall of Fame. It's been far too long in the making, man. And I know that – how long you been on the air on the Fan in Milwaukee? Are we at 10 years now? How long you been on there?
Yeah, a little over 10 years.
That's longer than I was there.
Yes. Gary tricked me. I thought I was coming in to do an interview like an interview, like we're doing now, but it was an interview with Alan Kirschbaum. Remember him?
The old general manager.
Yes.
I mean, that was 2007 he hired me, that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. He came in, he said, what is it going to take? I told him we can pay that, which is nothing in radio.
No.
It was just a platform.
No. 15 years later, man.
The way he set it up for me, though, he said, when you're not doing your appearances, come in. When you got to do your appearances, your school stuff, Butler versus Bullying, Pick and Save, Anthem, Blue Cross, whatever, you go do all of that. But when you're not doing anything, come in and we got the best show.
Well, man, I'll tell you what. You had a tremendous college career. You had a tremendous NFL career. And to be on the air doing as well as you are, it's easy for me to say you have a tremendous radio career. And I'm sure you never wanted to be a member of the media, but you're good at it. You're very good at it. You, Gary, Sparky have been together for a really long time. Thank you again for coming on, man. Continued success. Congratulations. And I don't know when we're going to get back to Milwaukee, but if I do, you can babysit all 3 of my kids.
Oh, please. I'm going to hold you to that. It's on record. It's on record. And I'll give you 2 Pro Bowls for your voice. That would be amazing.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks for coming on again, brother. Congrats.
Oh, we got to do it again. We'll do it again, okay?
Done. Absolutely.
We'll do it again. Let's do it right before the season, right before my induction in August. Let's do it.
I'll do it from Canton. You do it. If you get to Canton, we'll do it. If you find 20 minutes while you're in Canton, I want to know what's going on.
I have my wife's laptop.
Okay. Perfect.
So just have Lee send me a link, and I can talk to you.
Do you want to just do the interview with Lee? Would you rather just talk to Lee?
And the kids. That would be amazing.
Just put them on. This screen's going to have to get real wide. LeRoy, I know I kept you a long time, man. I know you got other stuff to do. But thank you so much again for coming on, man.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'll talk to you in August.
I'll talk to you in August. I'm writing it down.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Later, LeRoy. There he is, LeRoy Butler, the Packer Hall of Famer, now Pro Football Hall of Famer. Fun chat with that dude, and I will get him back on again to talk about getting into the Hall of Fame. Thanks so much for checking out this special edition of the podcast. It's been Wickett on Wisconsin. Follow me at Mike Wickett. Read everything, wisportsheroics.com. And as always, go Pack, go Bucks, and go Brewers.